Before you try supplement, do this first. There are many different supplements out there that you can take to improve your health, but there's no point in taking them if you don't first take care of the basics. So before you even think about taking any supplements, make sure that you're doing these 6 things first. Let's get started with number 1. Eat more whole foods. It's always best to get your nutrients from real food rather than from supplements. That's why it's so important to eat plenty of whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. These foods are packed with vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that your body needs to stay healthy. Not only that, but they also contain fiber, which can help improve digestion and help you feel full and satisfied after a meal. Fiber can also help lower cholesterol levels and blood sugar, which can reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. In addition to fiber, whole foods also contain antioxidants, which can help protect your cells from damage caused by free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can contribute to aging and disease. By eating plenty of whole foods, you can help neutralize free radicals and reduce your risk of developing chronic conditions. Now, I know it can be tempting to turn to processed foods when you're busy or on a tight budget, but processed foods often lack the nutrients that your body needs, and they can cause weight gain and chronic disease. So it's important to make an effort to eat whole foods as much as possible. This doesn't mean that you have to cook every meal from scratch, but you should avoid processed foods and sugary drinks, and try to stick to whole grains instead of refined carbohydrates. For example, brown rice instead of white rice, whole wheat bread instead of white bread, and oats instead of sugary cereals. Also, choose fresh or frozen fruits and vegetables instead of dried fruits and juices. And it's also important to note that the quality of the food you eat matters just as much as the quantity. For example, grass-fed beef is higher in omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants than grain-fed beef. So try to choose high-quality foods whenever possible. Now, eating whole foods is a great way to improve your overall health, but it's not enough on its own. You also need to exercise regularly. Exercise can help improve your cardiovascular health, muscle strength, and endurance, as well as reduce the risk of chronic diseases like obesity, type 2 diabetes, mental illness, and some types of cancer. So, aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity each week, plus muscle strengthening exercises that target all major muscle groups 2 or more days per week. But remember that everyone is different, and the amount of exercise you need may vary based on your age, sex, weight, and overall health status. So it's always best to talk to your doctor before starting any new exercise program. All right. Next, don't smoke and avoid secondhand smoke. Smoking has been linked to many health problems such as lung disease, heart disease, and stroke. It's also a leading cause of preventable death worldwide. The good news is that you can quit smoking, and there are many resources available to help you. If you've tried to quit smoking before and failed, don't get discouraged. Keep trying because it's never too late to quit. And if you're not a smoker, that's great. But you should still avoid secondhand smoke since it can increase your risk of developing lung cancer and heart disease. You can protect yourself from secondhand smoke by avoiding smoky areas and talking to friends or family members who smoke about the dangers of secondhand smoke. All right. Next, limit alcohol consumption. Drinking too much alcohol can lead to a variety of health problems, including liver disease, heart disease, and pancreatitis. It can also cause weight gain, high blood pressure, and an increased risk of certain types of cancer. In addition, alcohol can interfere with medications and reduce the effectiveness of some supplements. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends that adults who choose to drink alcohol should do so in moderation. For women, this means up to 1 drink per day, and for men, it means up to 2 drinks per day. However, some people should avoid alcohol altogether, such as those with liver disease, certain medical conditions, or who are taking certain medications. So it's always important to talk to your doctor about how much alcohol you should be consuming. All right, next, get enough sleep. Not getting enough sleep can lead to a host of health problems, including obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. Sleep deprivation can also impair your judgment, reaction time, and ability to concentrate. Most adults need between 7 and 8 hours of sleep per night, but the exact amount varies from person to person. Some people may need more or less sleep than this, but it's important to find out how much sleep you personally need to feel rested and alert during the day. To get a good night's sleep, it's important to establish a regular sleep schedule. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool, and avoid using screens before bed. You should also avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed, since they can interfere with sleep. Finally, It's important to note that getting enough sleep is crucial for maintaining a healthy immune system. When you don't get enough sleep, your body produces more of the stress hormone cortisol, which can suppress your immune system and make you more susceptible to infections. So make sure you're getting enough sleep to stay healthy. All right? And finally, manage stress. Chronic stress can wreak havoc on your body, leading to a variety of health problems such as high blood pressure, anxiety, and depression. Stress can also weaken your immune system and make you more susceptible to illness. That's why it's important to find healthy ways to manage stress, such as exercise, yoga, or meditation. 1. Effective way to manage stress is through exercise. Exercise releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects and can help alleviate stress. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate-intensity exercise most days of the week. Another great option for stress management is yoga. Yoga combines physical poses, breathing exercises, and meditation, which can help reduce stress and promote relaxation. There are many different styles of yoga, so you can find one that fits your needs and preferences. Finally, meditation is another effective way to manage stress. Meditation involves focusing your attention on the present moment without judgment. This can help calm your mind and body and reduce feelings of anxiety and stress. There are many different types of meditation, so feel free to explore and find what works best for you. But there's one more thing that you should keep in mind when trying to manage your stress levels. It's important to identify and avoid your triggers. Triggers are the things that cause you to feel stressed. They can be specific events or situations, or they can be more general, things like feeling overwhelmed or out of control. Once you've identified your triggers, you can start to develop coping mechanisms to deal with them. This may take some time and experimentation, but it's worth it to find healthy ways to manage your stress. When you're constantly stressed out, it can be difficult to focus on taking care of your health. But it's important to remember that stress management is an important part of maintaining good health. So make sure you take steps to manage your stress levels effectively. If you've tried supplements in the past or maybe thinking about taking them right now, definitely stop and watch this video first. Let me give you some important information that can save you a lot of money and also get better results. Now, I'm not against supplements at all. In fact, I take a couple of them myself. But here are 6 things to know before you spend your hard-earned money on supplements. No. 1. Make sure you don't have any food or nutrient deficiencies. It might be possible that you're taking supplements unnecessarily if you are eating a balanced diet. So make sure first that you don't have any nutrient deficiencies. And the best way to do that is by getting your blood tested. Also, when you have a deficiency, it means that your body isn't going to function optimally. You could experience symptoms like fatigue, insomnia, brain fog, weakness, mood swings, constipation, depression, hair loss, muscle loss, memory loss, poor immune system, and so much more. The point is that symptoms of nutrient deficiencies mimic a lot of different health problems and diseases. For example, B12 deficiency can cause fatigue and anemia, but it can also cause neurological problems like numbness and tingling in the hands and feet. A magnesium deficiency can cause muscle cramps, but it can also lead to high blood pressure. So if you haven't already, definitely get your blood tested first before jumping into buying expensive supplements. Number 2. Don't sell just because you read an article or watched a YouTube video about a certain condition and see that a certain supplement is being recommended doesn't mean that that supplement is good for you. For example, let's say you have high cholesterol. You probably wouldn't take advice from a random person on the street. Instead, you would probably go to a doctor to diagnose the underlying cause. Maybe your high cholesterol is due to liver disease, kidney disease, diabetes, hypothyroidism, or many other reasons. So before taking supplements to treat high cholesterol, you should first figure out the root cause and then address it. Otherwise, it's just treating a symptom and not the actual problem. For example, if your high cholesterol is due to liver disease, you should focus on fixing your liver instead of just trying to lower the cholesterol number. If you're not sure where to start, you can work with a healthcare professional who can guide you in the right direction. No. 3. Be careful of misleading labels. Some supplements have misleading labels, which means that they might not actually contain what is listed on the bottle. In fact, the FDA conducted a survey in 2021 of 48 supplements and found that 79% of them did not match what was advertised on the label. Of the 37 herbal products examined, 18% were found to contain a completely different herbal product, while 21% contained no detectable plant material at all. What does this mean? It means that some companies are ripping you off and selling you basically sugar pills. How does this happen? Well, there are a few different ways. One is that the manufacturer simply doesn't care and is willing to risk people's lives by putting in whatever they want. Another reason is that the raw materials used to make the supplement might be contaminated with something else. And lastly, someone might have purposely tampered with the product. So how can you protect yourself from these harmful products? Well, one way is to buy from reputable brands that have third-party testing. This means that their products are tested for quality, identity, and purity by an independent company. Also, it's a good idea to research the brand you're buying from. Look to see if they use good quality ingredients and if their products have been tested by a third party. Lastly, always keep your supplements in a safe place and don't buy from suspicious sources. Number 4. Don't expect supplements to be a quick fix. It's important to remember that supplements are not a magic pill that's going to transform your body in a few days. In most cases, you need to take them consistently over a period of weeks or months to see results. For example, studies have shown that it can take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks to see improvements in symptoms of depression when taking supplements. If you're taking supplements for a chronic medical condition, your doctor may tell you to take them for at least 3 to 6 months before giving up on them. The reason why it takes so long is because the nutrients in supplements need time to build up in your body. Some nutrients like vitamin D and magnesium are stored in your bones, so it can take a while for them to become bioavailable and for you to notice the benefits. Other supplements, like probiotics, need time to colonize your gut. This means that they need to multiply and become part of your normal gut flora before they can start helping you. And no. 6. Ask your doctor about generic options. If your doctor does recommend a supplement, ask if there are any generic options available. Supplements are usually much cheaper when they are bought in generic form. Supplements can be a great way to improve your health, but it's important to be informed before you start taking them. Hopefully the tips I shared in this video can help you make the most of your money and get the best results possible. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.